Okay, I've got a shape file which is just an attached example. You can see the yellow dots on the screen as the site. So if I hover over here and click on one of the points and get the properties dialog box up, you can see it's got the points. Now these points are in Perth Coastal Grid, so they are in meters and it's a fair distance from zero. So what I'm going to do is show you using Dynamo is take these points, use a matrix transformation and bring them back into Revit using a project base point. So the project base point for this site I'm going to use is basically this point down here, which represents my base point. So using Civil 3D, I'll just toggle over using the profile switch. Under Toolbox, Export Shared References. So this is basically just comes with Subscription Center and allows you to create a reference between Civil 3D and Revit. So pick that point, ask him the quasi-north, and specify the quasi-north. This file is in meters, and so I click OK, and that's just telling me what the coordinate systems is. It's 0, and the rotation from true north. I've already saved it, so I'll save over the top of it. So that's that file there, and these, again, are just a series of points that I wanted to bring in Revit in true coordinates. So I come over to Revit. I've just got the script of Dynamo open there. As you can see, this is the file. Within it here, there's nothing to it. It's just a standard construction template file. The project base point currently is 0, 0 with the true north rotation of 0. So using the import shared coordinates, because I'm going to define the shared coordinates. So here I'm basically going to pick the reference plane, pick the origin to align north, now browse to that file. It says, are you sure you want to create new shared coordinates? So I click yes. So that's successfully been created. So if I click on that, that should say 0. But if I come over to my Manage tab, go to location, and I'm going to change the location from site, which is internal, which is what I'll leave at 0, 0, and I'll make current, which is my reference point to the code. So as you can see, if I click on that, it's set up the points. Now, as I can see, I haven't changed anything in the file. This file, the units are still in millimeters. Because of points and importing the shape file is going to be in meters, the easiest way that I do it is I just change the units to meters. Okay. By this, it makes the base point is still the same in terms of that. The rotation is still correct in terms of true north. Okay. So I've opened up Dynamo in this session. So the purpose of this is basically to bring in a shapefile, find the project base point, and then from that do a matrix transformation, which is basically subtracting project base point from the real world coordinates point and basically making a more of a rationalized number where Revit can use it. So if I zoom in here and we just have a look, okay. So in this instance here, I'm going to browse to the shapefile. So this is the example that I've done, and I'll open up the point file, which is the shape file. Open that up. So from that, it's basically browsing the file, reading the shape file. From this, I actually haven't had a look to see how many records are in it. So I'll just hit run, and it'll come back, and it should tell me, okay, there's 8. So I'll just change this to 8. Hit run. It goes through, and it takes those points. So if I just hover over here, there's my list of my points, and as you can see, there they are. Creates a flattened list. That flattens the list, and then from that I get out my X, Y, Z. This pointer basically obtains the project base point. From that, I get the Z, Y, X, as well as the angle to true north and that rotation. So you can see that value there. Okay, from here I take the X value that comes through, and I'll subtract that first from the project base point, and then from that what needs to occur is basically a rotational shift to suit the project base point. So this is the 346 degrees, and then from that we get our values in Revit. Okay, so these are the values. All right. So if I scroll back up here, and I've just set this to structural foundation, and we have a look in Revit. And set the family, pop it over to Revit, and then all the those points from that shapefile have come through. And as you can see, if I go top view, you can see the true north rotation. If that's the rotation to true north based on that angle, and even if I turned on the base point, we can see that project base point, which is this down here. And if I click on that, that emulates the same values within the CAD file when I set that as well. And additionally, just to check these points, there is an add-in. You can do it in Dynamo. I have done it in Dynamo, but say for instance run that. And if we have a look now, that is put in, so we've got our coordinates within our local, referencing our base point, and our true world, true easting and true northing. And that's basically, again, this script running through doing the matrix transformation. I've simplified this, so if you enter within packages and search for coordinates transformation, you'll be able to then find transform in and out, and basically this now does the real world matrix transformation. So this allows you to do input your X, input your Y, input your Z, and then from there you get all these values. So similarly again, it takes this bottom half and wraps it up into just one package there.